Pico.
Just arrived this morning and we just had lunch, and we're just going to be touring around with Gita and Celeste here, live from all those Azores, and just show them what Pico's all about. Right behind us, we just missed it, but it was
snow on Pico.
Snow on Pico, but it's like 20 degrees right now. I think the water's about 21, 22, and it's just like summer right now.
So you could swim in the ocean and you can ski on the Pico.
Yeah. So we'll just give you a little taste behind the scenes. We're sort of putting this tour together, the Triangle Tour, and this way you can get a little bit of lay of the land here on Pico, as you did in St. George, and we're also going over to Fayal. So stay with us.
But right now we're going over to Piscino Bay, which is a beautiful resort here on Pico.
Yeah. No, they're staying at Alma de Pico, which is also very nice, wellness and kind of feeling as well. And we'll show you a little bit of that as well. Okay.
Guys, we just came back from Piscino Bay, and such a lovely couple. They showed Egidio and Celeste around. We've been there before, and as we said, we were linking the video in the description. But now we're down at one of the swimming holes, and the sun is setting, and it's just very peaceful and beautiful. So I think we're going to make our way over to Cella Bar, which is a bar down the street. They've won architectural awards, and we're going to have a drink and watch the sunset.
Sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion. Just my kind of heat, keep it on repeat. Tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up, switch it up, switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly, just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life. I want to run the red lights, I've got to run this show. You always take me so high, you always make the highlights.
Oh, good morning. Hi, Egidio. Good morning, bon
Good
dia.
morning. Beautiful sunshine today.
It's a beautiful day for a tour.
All I want is satisfaction. Make a move, baby, you got nothing to lose.
population-wise, it represents a very small percentage of the population of the Azores, only around 5%. Pico is also the youngest island, geologically speaking. So this part we're in here was actually the last part of the island to be formed, more or less from Santa Luzia to São Mateus. This is the youngest part of the island, including Mount Pico itself. So the first part formed would be this area here around Lages, and this circular part here is actually the remains of of a volcano. So this would be the oldest part of Pico, around 300,000 years old. Then we have all of this central part, including São Roque in this area here, which is which came afterwards, like around 200,000. Just round numbers. And then the last part to be formed was the parts that we're on now, including the mountains, around 100,000 years, roughly. So this is very young comparing to, for example, Santa Maria, the oldest, they say is somewhere between 8 and 9 million years old. So it's a huge difference. Even just on Pico, you'll notice the landscape, the scenery changes dramatically from this area we're in here to, for example, Prainha and Santo Amar, which is you don't see many of don't see the vineyards, the rocky fields. You see more open fields and for agriculture, and that's all because it has all to do with the age. So there was just simply more time. Harbor here where they would roll the wine barrels into the water and load them onto the ships, which is right down here. It's called Rola Pipas, and Rola Pipas is exactly what the name says. It's a barrel roller, and there was one here, there is one in Criação Velha and one in Pluj, the areas that produce the most wine, and ships would come and anchor just off here, and they would float the barrels to the ship and then load them on. They would come from as far off as Russia, Brazil, United States, England. People would send for this very, very precious wine.
I can make time, call me obsessed, stuck in your gravity. Body so hot, gotta confess, I'm loving this energy. And honestly, energy. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Pretty face and she gets good grades. Out of college just trying to get paid. Bags packed and she moving out of state. Nothing in the way, nothing in the way. Give it time, she gon' pull me under. Set off in the heat of thunder. Always making everybody wonder what she gon' do next. I can make time, call me obsessed, stuck in your gravity. Body so hot, gotta confess, I'm loving this energy. And honestly, blow my mind, like you can't believe you probably get this all the time. I'm loving this energy. I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
Island was inhabited in 1460, there were four historical eruptions. The first one happened here. We sort of added on this area here that you see down here, Ponta Delgada. And this one happened in 1562. Then there was an eruption in it was 1718. In 1720 there was one in Silvida. There was one in 1720 and two in 1718. One on each side, one to the north, and then later in the year one to the south. That Mistério with the Silvida. So this added on 77 hectares to the island. Like sometimes we stop, our first stop is at Cachorro. Some people can be there an hour and a half. Yeah. And others are ready in 10 minutes. Yeah. So you've never seen this, Carlos. This is one of the nicest views in the Azores.
I'm going to give you a hug as soon as we're over this. This is awesome. It's awesome.
Today it's so clear we can actually see Sete Cidades.
Oh my God. This is
Behind São Miguel there. Similar, yes. São Miguel is where they had a very big shipbuilding industry. It was like the capital of shipbuilding of the Azores. Of Praia Santo Amaro. So we're going to take this high road here. It's really spectacular views down.
What's the name of that area?
This is o Caminho da Meia Encosta. And it takes us right up to Lagoa do Peixinho and Lagoa do Rosada. And if it's nice in this area, we'll even go to Lagoa do Paula and Lagoa do Capitão and see what it's like. This area is full of small volcanoes. There's actually over 300 volcanoes on Pico Island.
Wow.
beautiful. Yeah, that's it. Wood, the oak, the barrels. My uncle's adega still has the rocks. He didn't do anything. It's like
This one is more is recently built. So that's for you. This the white wine. I never mess with the grapes, so whatever it is what it is.
Hey guys, so this is another day. As you know, we went on a really nice tour yesterday at Pico, and we went with João Xavier from Caminhando Private Tours. Amazing. He was just simply outstanding. And we just decided to do a recap today before we do a little bit more touring around the island, because I'll be honest with you, Laura and I got so involved in just taking in the nature, filming, and we forgot to, once, you know, as you know, we talk throughout the video. So this is a recap of what we saw yesterday. I'm here with Egidio from Life Wellness Azores, and we all took it in, and it was amazing. What did you think of it, Egidio?
I think that was a great day yesterday. We got to remind ourselves this was late October, and we had an amazing day from a weather perspective, visibility. We drove along the south side of the island, started off in the Cachorros, and then we went to the Legido. We stopped in São Roque at the whaling port and visited the whaling museum, then started to take a bit of an inroad to head up to the highlands, with great views over Santo Amaro, Prainha, Baía das Canas, and then we made our way inroad. And we also had great visibility of the island beside us, São Jorge, end to end, completely uncovered, and Terceira behind it, which we normally might not usually be able to see. We were even able to see that, which was very nice.
And to go back to, obviously you had seen Cachorro and Legido before, the Whaling Museum, which this is the Industrial Whaling Museum on Pico, which is in São Roque, the one he's referring to. I had never seen it, all the times I've been here, and it was pretty interesting to just see how extensive everything was. It was like they just finished yesterday, right?
They were between shifts. It almost felt like you were basically stepping back in time. They even had one of the old pickup trucks from the 1940s or 50s.
It smelled too. So, anyways, we went back in time there, and there's another whale factory on the Laje side, but that was a big one as well. And the guy there was also very good that let us in, and
very knowledgeable.
It was great. And then from there, where was the next stop?
Then we started to go through the lake, through the highlands, over the lakes, amazing views. Completely, what was interesting is the vegetation, the landscape, completely different on different parts of the island. So although it's one island, even here you've got vegetation that changes as we go from one area. So the Criação Velha, Madalena, the vineyards, very rocky. That's where they have all the vineyards. And then as we start to go across, more completely different vegetation as we move further up. And then at the very top, even more different because you had volcanic craters and lakes. So it's quite spectacular to see that all in one day.
Yeah, I mean, this is all going to be part of the tour, and that we're going to do with the Triangle and beyond. Lots of coast. The ocean's always here, but when you go up to this area, and I haven't been to all the areas, and this particular, you just can't. We forgot to film. That's how, because it's so green. You got the lakes, and we do it slow, like low and slow, like Egidio says. And these are the kind of tours that make really sense for a lot of people these days. You don't want to not everybody wants to go fast, you know. And by just getting lost up there, and you could hike it, you can cycle it, you could ATV it. We were in the car, stopped again. João Xavier was amazing. He went slow. I'm a bit afraid of heights. There were some areas there, but did not have a panic attack this time.
No, you're good. You're good.
So I just loved it. Just like in São Jorge, where I went beyond my normal, and thanks to Egidio. And it's good to, when you finish it. You know, it's actually a bit emotional because you kind of you break through, right? So this is all part of wellness, as you know. And I think for some of you that want to come over to Pico, St. George, Fayal, which we will get to next. There's just so much to take in, and it fits a lot of people, especially with the nature linking everything together, right? So we also stop in that park, right? You mentioned the park. Prainha, Parque Florestal de Prainha.
Yeah.
Again, there were parts of there that I had never seen. Until yesterday.
Nice.
The lookouts, and you can have barbecues there. We're now actually in a park of
São João.
We're in São João. And again, it's beautiful.
Another nature reserve. The island has many islands in the Azores now.
Yes.
And actually, I've got something in my hand, a bit of goodies here.
These are good.
These are called eriçais. They're like they're a fruit. From the guava family. They're much like guava with some seeds on the inside.
Yeah.
We're just walking through the park and just some nature's providing us some fruits, some snacks along the way, which is great. They're just in prime right now.
They're so good. These are really ripe. we won't go hungry on these islands.
No.
If you lose your lunch, not in the bad way, but if you forget your lunch, there's going to be some figs or some aside.
Depending on the time of year, right? So we're late
Yes.
October, so this is the time where you can find some asage on the trees. So that's great.
Yeah, but it's great. Gio was the host on St. George. It was great. I learned a lot about the island. Now we're here learning a lot about Pico Island, and I think today we're going to cruise around a little bit and just play it by ear. Right. Sometimes you don't need to have a huge schedule. You don't need to start at 7 in the morning. You kind of just go along, and you're going to find things. And in the Azores, you're always going to find a lot of nice things to experience. Just to mention a few of the main lakes that's up in the plateau and up in Pico is there's one Capitão. Everybody knows that one. Caiado. There's also
Paul,
Rosada. I think there's one Peixinho. There's over 10, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, some of them are very small. They all have some characteristic to them. They're either these are craters. I mean, Pico, what did he say? There's how many volcanoes on Pico? He said it was a big number, over 200?
It was hundreds.
Over
yes.
200. So there you go. And we just wanted, so don't hesitate to go up there. Cycling, walking. You could even, one thing I told Gita I'd like to do, and I've been telling Laura, but she's not up for it, is spending 2 nights just hiking up there and spending a couple nights in a tent, because there's a lot of areas you can do that just in a very slow kind of nature way. One of the reasons we're together and we're going to be working together with these low and slow tours, okay, is because Egidio, I mean, it's the same mindset, and he's going to talk a little bit about this type of travel. Okay, so Egidio?
Yeah, so what we're trying to focus on is low season and slower pace. And so that's why we say low and slow. Not necessarily being still, although we will try and provide some free days so people, if they want to completely come to a complete stop and just relax, that's fine, you can do that. But we're just going to go at a slower pace and do some hikes, some nature walks. For example, today we're in this nature reserve park here in São João in Pico. Beautiful area just to have a picnic, lunch, and then after lunch you could spend easily. It's not that they're huge trails, but they're really pretty trails, completely lost in nature, not far from the ocean. You're looking down on the ocean as well. The birds are singing. I don't know if you can pick them up on the mic, but their birds are in the trees behind. And the Pico Mountain up behind us. So really give you an opportunity to just soak it in, relax, restore, and enjoy.
Yeah. And that's a lot. We being in the travel business for a lot of years, and Gita's in the travel business as well now. And it's a lot of people are shifting towards more of this low and slow nature, wellness. There's different ways you can explain it, but it's getting into nature. And the Azores, in my opinion, not because I was born here or I know a lot about the Pico and a few of the other islands. I just think there's not too many places left like the islands here.
And maybe one point to add, when we did the hike in São Jorge, that is probably one of the most popular trails in the Azores.
Yes.
And we basically had that trail to ourselves.
We did, yes.
Right? There was very few people on it. We may have crossed, I think, 2 or 3 individuals. And we're talking on a hour and a half walk.
Yes.
Not crazy as far as steep, but just it's a good walk. And we basically had the trails all to ourselves. A couple of times in the summer, because I've done those in the summer, very busy, a lot more people, and you don't get that same feeling.
Exactly. And here on Pico yesterday, a few cars came by, it was not a lot of people either.
No.
A lot of times, and you've probably seen other videos when Laura and I will go on a hike or a little trek, we're the only ones, right? So, and because these islands have a good space, a lot of it's protected, but in the summer it's always busier to get into
very
restaurants.
Busy. July and August are very busy.
So we're trying to, kind of just off season, shoulder season, however you want to call it. There's places here that can accommodate, and we've also checked a lot of nice properties that we'll show you that another time. But today we just wanted to give you a recap of yesterday, and then we'll see you maybe at the end of the day when we show you what we've done today. This park here in São João, it's pine. It's a pine forest. Okay, a lot of pine. So we're literally standing on gravel, right? Lava gravel and needles and pine needles with fruit trees. There's places to cook. We're right behind me. You can probably see a little
old barbecue
made out of
lava rock.
Oh, what else? Yeah.
So and a grindstone. Sometimes there's tabletops.
Yeah, and little paths. Very quiet, very zen. I think in here. I guess you can do yoga here if you wanted to, and but it's most people bring picnics or they're on a hike, like Gigi was saying. They just kind of stop and have a bite to eat, relax, take a nap, take another walk, and I just wanted to show you a bit of the park. We just stopped here in Lush, and there's a bit of wind. Pico is covered. First place the explorers came was right here, this lagoon here, over 500 years ago.
Bon dia! Happy Halloween, guys!
Yes, happy Halloween today, and yeah, also tomorrow is Ponta Delgada, they call it in Portugal.
All Saints Day.
And it's All Saints Day tomorrow as well. So, anyways, we're here at one of our favorite cafes.
Aromas Sabores.
Sabores Pastelaria, Laje do Pico. And yeah, so Laura's with me today. We're going to pick up Egidio and Celeste.
Yeah, yesterday I was editing all day, so I was seeing everybody arrive at the cafe this morning.
Yeah, so we had some nice coffee, like as usual, the sweets.
Oh, I had an apple, it's like an apple fritter. Oh, it was so good. And you had a croissant with chocolate that just came out of the oven.
I actually had to wait. I might have burned myself a bit. I don't know. We'll see later. But yeah, this is it. I mean, this morning, it's about, I think, about 9 o'clock in the morning. And yesterday, we did some driving around with Celeste and Egidio. As you saw, we're at the park, and I'll give you a little bit of an update of the day before. We still went around to a few places. Sorry about the car. And but it would rain. Half the day it rained, so we just did a few things indoor. And today it's going to be sunny and rainy. We don't know when it's going to rain. And we're trying to get over to an activity that's indoor. It's called the Casa dos Vulcões, a volcano house, which gives you what an earthquake feels like. So we're trying to get there this morning. Let's see if it happens. Hey guys, so we're here in Egidio, part of obviously on Pico Island, and we're at the place called Casa dos Vulcões, so House of the Volcanoes, and this is fairly new, and we're going to go in with Egidio and Celeste to check out. There's two simulators here. One takes you to the center of the Earth. I hope it's not too cold there. Yeah. And then the tremors, different levels of earthquakes.
I'm a little nervous about that because you experience a 7.2.
Different ones, yeah.
Different levels. So, yeah, we'll let you know how that goes.
Well, just back to real life, I have experienced a 7.2 or 7.4 November 1st, almost, how many years ago?
It was 19.
Tomorrow, tomorrow will be November 1st, so 1974.
Yeah.
And I was still here, and we had a pretty, especially in São Miguel, Madalena, a few Fayal got hit, and it was pretty scary. Let's put it that way. And anyways, we're going to get to experience that again, I guess.
Yeah, so we'll take you in with us, guys. I'm not sure we'll be able to hold on to the phone, though, while we're experiencing that.
Especially the 7.4, but we'll try. See you inside.
guys, we're going into the capsule to experience the center of the earth. Here we go, guys.
Point of no return. That doesn't seem... Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do water. Well, what'd you think?
Wow, that was amazing. You really had to hang on when you were in that assimilator.
Yeah, you really get an idea how these islands are formed, how the volcanic works, the earthquakes, just the whole planet basically. So it's worth coming to, I would say on a rainy day, make sure, I think this would be a good trip to come in.
It would be a
good
good
activity,
experience.
a great experience, and combine this with the Gruta de Storch, the lava tubes. I think
Those are the caves.
the caves. So I think they'll be definitely worthwhile.
Well, we just stopped at Aldea de Fontes. We brought Celeste and Egidio. We're going to have some lunch together. And it turned out to be an absolutely beautiful day. We had a nice drive through São Miguel. We took them up to see our house. And now we're down at the restaurant and think we're all getting hungry, so we're going to enjoy our lunch, and we're going to take a little tour around the grounds here. So we're going to take them around the grounds and before lunch, and maybe possibly see some of the rooms that they have here. And we'll see you guys after lunch. They decorated the tables here for Halloween. Isn't this fun? And they put some leaves on the ground. That's great.
Deluxe. You actually have another one that is lower than this one because it doesn't have this hall. It's just the room. That's the difference between the standard and the standard deluxe. This is a standard deluxe.
Okay. So this is the standard deluxe.
Yes.
So the room. Nice view. So now we're going to go into the suite. So wow, this is big.
This is like an apartment.
Oh wow. So here's the bedroom, very similar to the one we were just in. But the difference is you have this whole living area with the fireplace. Wow, very nice. You've got a little day bed here. And a beautiful view of the water. Look at that. You can see the coast from here. The grounds here are really, really pretty. So many plants, different varieties of plants and trees. A little balcony here. Just see all the trees here. Lots of privacy. It's just amazing the landscaping they've done here. It's one of my favorite grasses. made it to the pool. Had to show you guys. That's quite a long trail to go down, but very scenic. Just give you a quick view. Very pretty spot here. This would be very relaxing, lying in the sun, and actually it's hot enough to lie in the sun. Look at this. Nice. All right, we gotta go back up the trail and go for lunch. All right, guys, we're back to the restaurant. Gonna have some lunch. They have one of the best restaurants here at El de Font. Food is very, very good and very consistent. And tonight they're actually starting their Chinese buffet, which is excellent. I'm out of breath going off that trail. Anyways, so we'll see you guys. Maybe we'll film a little bit of what we're eating so you can see. All right, guys, look at this. This is what Carlos and I are having. The bacalao. It's a fried grilled. It's fried codfish, and then baked in the oven with potatoes, and we get a shrimp each. That's so nice.
Look what Egidio
and then Egidio has one of my favorites. It's the ravioli with goat cheese
And beets.
and beets. It's delicious. And you get some vegetables. Look how fresh these vegetables are, with broccoli and carrots and
What do
zucchini.
you say the name in Portuguese of this dish?
It's bacalao.
Oh, no, canoa with bacalhau.
Oh, this is canoa de bacalao.
Perfect.
Celeste, her dish came, and this is the vegetarian dish in clay with rice. This is really good. I've had this before. Delicious. It has chickpeas and cauliflower, mushrooms, carrots, all kinds of great vegetables. Well, guys, we had an amazing lunch. Wasn't that good, you guys?
It's great.
Number one.
It was really nice. So we're going to end the day here and the video. Celeste and Egidio are heading off to Fayel. And we just wanted to thank you guys for coming along with us. We really enjoyed ourselves with you guys. And Life Wellness Azores.
And thanks for showing us around St. George. We learned a lot. We're going to take all this amazing last, 8 days?
8 days.
8 days of basically product development, just discovering more about the São Jorge and about Pico. And we're going to develop some really nice products, some pacotes, as they call it, with Life Wellness and ourselves. And I think that's, we've seen, it's more than I expected. But now Egidio is going to Fayal, and he's going to actually share some footage with us, which we'll forward over to you guys in one of the videos. Egidio, what do you got? Anything left to say?
Well, just to invite everyone to come and explore the Azores. There's so much to see and do. Canadian, American winters compare nothing to the winters we have over here. Here we are, last day of October now.
Hard to believe.
And it's another amazing day.
Yep.
So you never know what the future unfolds.
All right.
And Celeste is ready to go swimming.
Let's go.
No, we are so full from lunch. Now we need to walk it off. We will see you guys in the next video. And you remember what to do. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.
And comments.
And comments. Ciao, guys.